everybody, welcome back to Quest Junkies. It is Friday night, which means it's time for Strahdalicious. Handing over to the dungeon mistress herself, Bree.
Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to Strahdalicious. As always, just a few things to get out of the way before we do our introductions. Curse of Strahd is a 18 plus, well, Strahdalicious is 18 plus stream, so it may contain content that some viewers may find disturbing, so heads up on that. If you noticed something different from last time, you don't have to pay too much mind to this. That's my naughty board for all my players, so whenever they do something a little too naughty in my taste, that is going up. And let's see, anything else that I want to tell you guys about? No, I'm just gonna lead into my players. So let's go ahead and start top of the screen with Patch.
Hello, I am Patch, the usual face you see on the lovely Quest Junkies, reprising my role as the, fun fact, I normally preface my other wizard that I play on Fridays over on Phoenix Uwaki as sassy yet classy. And we just came up with one for Linnell, as I play the dommy yet mommy, Linnell Calidora.
Oh, a bunch of D-gens in this group. I love y'all. All right, Sky.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ileana. I play Space Girl in a Strahd world. And for tonight, I have a challenge for all of you. Every 5 gifted subs or 5 up subs that one person does, okay, we're not accumulating them, Ileana is going to be taking a stress point. So your challenge, especially with it being September and our subs being a lot cheaper to go ahead and support the channel with, I thought I'd make it worth your while, and it will be worth your while.
Yep, and Ileana has yet to use the Wheel of Dread.
Yeah.
So, if you want to punish her, that is a good way to do so.
Yes.
And they have to say for Illy.
For Ileana.
Yes. Sub as well.
Yeah. Because I do realize this will get out of hand real easy. So if you feel like fucking Ileana, this is your way to do it.
And I think that's a good time to lead over to C.
Hi, I'm C, and I'm the cinnamon roll of the group, but they keep insisting I'm not innocent, so we'll see.
We see your comments behind the scenes, C. We know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And Bridget.
Hello, everybody. My name's Bridget. Tonight I'll be playing Lena. Tagline just as snazzy as Linnell's forthcoming, but we'll see what happens.
And unfortunately, we do not have River, otherwise known as Sarah, today. She is off doing things in the real world, so we will be without her. But without further ado, last time on Strahdalicious, the group finally got out of the Durst Manor, so no one died. The dog didn't die. Neither dog died. They've acquired some pets here. And so we are starting with the party outside of the Durst Manor, deciding what they're doing next. The floor is yours.
Well, I'm pretty tired. And it was quite a while to town, right?
It's at least a day.
It is dark. It might be best to just wait until morning before
Perhaps we make camp.
Yeah.
In our newly acquired windmill, right?
Well, how far away is this windmill? Do we know?
It's right across. It's just right across the way.
Ismark's just looking at you as like,
You would rather sleep in the open or back in the death house? You want to go
I
sleep
do
in
not see any windmill anywhere. So until you pointed out to me, and he's like looking around, you just see barren nothingness for miles and miles and miles, some forest, like along this path. Oh yeah, no, there is no windmill in sight.
I thought I stomped over from there. Okay. Never mind. I don't know where the fuck I am, so.
Well, perhaps, given that we've cleared the building of all foreseeable horrors and frights, for the time being, perhaps we don't travel very far at all. Perhaps we make camp on the front lawn.
Imagine if we went back inside the house and it, like, reset.
No,
I
thank
would
you.
prefer not to imagine that, and for that not to happen, but maybe that's just me.
The way your mind works continues to intrigue me, Eliana.
I'd rather just sleep across this. Oh, just a sec.
It's your skirt.
Everything all
There's
right,
something-
Avrea?
The skirt
There's
keeps being a
something-
problem.
Yeah, there's something creaking. I hate this house. I want to be far away from it.
All right.
Well, if we do continue on the path, it should lead us back into town, and we can take watches if we need to.
Yeah, I know who's gonna stay up with you.
I'm afraid to ask.
So I have it. You know what? Let's walk and talk. I have questions.
All right.
Everyone else seems to know what the markings on your neck are. And I'm a little lost. So it's too big to be a snake bite, because trust me, I'm very familiar with those.
Are you familiar with the concept of a vampire?
Not at all.
Well, then that's going to be
Baffling.
very interesting to update you on. So, the Countess Strahd von Zerovich, as she's known, most people will not call her that. They'll refer to her as the devil or the she-devil, or she
kinda
who
rude.
must not be named. Well, if you understood more about this character, you would understand that
She's a villain.
we all are subject to her fancies. And it's not the best place for us to be in Barovia. She is a vampire, someone who consumes the blood of mortal beings. And,
So
well,
you're scared of this person finding you. What happens if you get,
if she bites me again,
well, even already, what's the situation? What are we dealing with?
it's been a little while. I think I'm fine, but goodness, I can only imagine that my way forward is either that she kills me or she tries to turn me into her kind. Which,
Okay.
to be frank, I would prefer not to happen.
So this doesn't make it like a tracking device or anything.
Oh, gods, no, I hope not, but
Oh, don't
I-
worry, Ismark. She knows where everybody is.
How?
'Cause
that's
she's
just...
a bitch.
I
No.
don't believe that one person knows where everyone is.
Generally, we can always assume at all times that Strahd has powers beyond our comprehension. Far-reaching powers.
For example, and I'll take the book out.
I was gonna ask, is it a good idea to bring that along. You were talking to her with it.
You're essentially a spy, so they would know where we are at all times because of that damn thing.
No, I think she has many other ways. This book, this is her trying to fuck with me.
Then why are you letting her fuck with you?
Because it's not fucking with me.
Yeah, it is. You keep checking it.
I do.
You're obsessed with it.
Ismark's
little
gonna
bit.
lean over to Avreya. Do you think maybe, perhaps she likes it, and that's why she keeps writing in the book?
Can Lena attempt to hear this?
Roll me perception.
That's a good question.
Do I
don't
hear
know
this
if
shit?
we'd know.
Ismark is gonna have so many regrets.
It's a 15.
15. All right.
22.
Yeah, you both hear it. Ismark's trying to whisper to Avreya. There's not a lot distracting from it.
Without even looking at Ismark, there's a slight flare to Linnell's tattoos, and she hits him with a mind sliver.
Well,
Okay. All right. That's how we're playing. All right. Do I have to roll against anything? Do I have
It's
to?
intelligence saving throw, DC 15.
Okay, Ismark. Let's take a look.
well, he
can't
has a
see very
point.
barbs that, right? Because it's not an attack roll.
Oh yeah. I think it's silvery barb's not an attack roll. I know it's like with certain rolls, so I think if like Ismark passed this, I think you could silvery barbs it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a 3.
It's a
That's
3.
not a pass.
Max damage, 6 points.
You just hear a flurry of curses as he kind of like crouches down holding his head. And he will look over like at Linnell, and it's a cross between just a look of anger but also like a oh shit.
I think seeing him do that, Ileana's gonna go to catch his head and be like, "Are you alright?"
Well, I don't know if you would consider having whatever the fuck that was as all right. What did you do to my head?
I gave you a lesson.
Oh,
He directs that over at Linnell.
was that
A
really
lesson.
necessary? He probably has a point.
I agree.
Do you want to do that to me, Linnell?
Oh, no. Something different, maybe, but that's a different story.
I think perhaps keeping this relic from the house could be a way to learn further information. Not
Look.
saying that Strahd is willing to provide this information, but it is a clue, at the very least.
What do you?
I can explain why I'm keeping the book. It has nothing to do with what she is doing. And I'll open the book, but to one of the early pages.
Mm-hmm.
This book has documentation of my life, my memories. And it has many blank pages, which is points of my life I don't remember. Perhaps
And-
if I hold on to this, and maybe some of these pages will come back and I'll be able to...
Linnell, if you don't remember those and this person has the ability to write in this book, don't you think that they could fill in those gaps for you and you would be none the wiser?
Possibly.
As
It's a
far
two-
as being able to find us, it's not a question of if, it's a matter of when. We don't know the when. She decides the when.
I'm going to flick to the last page whilst this conversation is going on, because she surely hears it all. And I'm just curious.
There's nothing new on that page.
You see, if I had a fun little toy to play with someone with, I would exploit it in every imaginable way that wasn't what they would think of. I would not be direct with it. You know, Occam's razor is a concept of the most direct path being the correct one. And
Who is Occam?
different planet. Don't. It's we'll just chalk it up to a space thing. It's do what you want. I don't trust the fucking thing. You kept looking over your shoulder. When instead of paying attention to all your surroundings, you let it fool you into being paranoid. That's nuts. That is absolutely nuts, because I'm pretty sure you're probably smarter than that. But
Okay.
it's your history. If you see new things in it, I just wouldn't be quick to trust it.
Yeah, we can
If
find
it
other ways
makes-
to get your memories back.
Linnell walks forward right up to Ileana. Holds the book out. Take it. I'll give it willingly.
She'll grab it.
But it
This is
appears
essen-
some of you need some context, so I'm going to try and give you some context
Please.
about Strahdalicious. And she pulls her hair back, and she runs her thumb across her neck, and where you see a very prominent scar that goes from the bottom of her left ear all down across the neck and up to the right ear. This was the first time I was murdered by Strahd von Zarovich. She pulls one of the bits of cloth from her clothing to one side, and you see a massive scar on her shoulder. This was the second time I was murdered by Strahd von Zarovich. And she, third, fourth. This is not my first rodeo.
Resilient, aren't you?
Why?
Are you saying that you're dead?
I don't think I classify as dead anymore. I think I'm beyond that. I don't even know what the fuck it is.
Are you alive then?
I don't know. I think I'm somewhere in between.
Of course you're alive.
And you're not a vampire?
Not last I checked. She checks for fangs. No. No. In fact, DM, was Linnell
Yes.
ever bitten? As far as she knows?
Not as far as she knows.
I am
To-
bite free. She had different methods for me.
It appears we have something in common.
Oh, I saw that from the moment I first saw you.
Wait, both of you?
When I mentioned waking up inside of a coffin, that wasn't an exaggeration.
I
Is-
just assumed, like, ever been buried alive? Just happens.
Ismark looks between the two of you, Lena and Linnell, and has just a massive look of confusion on his face, and it's clear that he has no idea what's going on or what could have happened, and that this is all seemingly new information to him, that this was even possible.
I have no idea what brought me back, but she'll hold the facsimile of Eldritch Blast in her hand so that it looks like her fingers spark purple before she snuffs it out. But that was new. The magic. It's new.
So, Ismark, you were talking about ghouls, right?
Yes.
Can you say again what they are? Are they kind of like vampires?
No,
Yes.
like strange undead of sorts. I mean, they bite, but clearly nothing that is long-lasting, as you've seen for yourself, Avrea.
And can you two become ghouls?
Well, I'd like to think my cognitive faculties are a bit more intact than the average ghoul. What I know is I do not breathe, nor eat, nor sleep.
How long have you been like this?
Insert Twilight joke.
I
Say it out loud.
17.
You know what
Got
you
the skin
are.
of a killer.
Oh, sorry.
Actually, question for the DM, how long has it been since that moment that you woke up?
It's been probably like at most 2 weeks. It's been
Was it
recent.
a fairly recent turn of events?
DM, same question.
You don't know.
Hmm.
It's all foggy to you, Linnell.
So I don't want to worry or alarm you, but I just don't know how ghouls become that way. Could it be that you both have your cognitive abilities just because it's recent, and you may become that later?
Well, the circumstances are clearly very different. Of what sort of magic or happenstance or bits of fate keep me alive, I cannot say. I can't say the same for what has kept Linnell alive after all this time. But I think I would recall being bitten by a ghoul.
Oh, and frankly, none of this matches up to anything that, would be typical knowledge of what even a vampire is possible of. As we know, Strahd is, she rules over these lands in her castle, and vampires can do things like transform into certain animals, or dominate you with their powerful gaze, or... Well, one of the things
Asking to see if I can clock that look on Ileana's face.
Well, I'm going to clarify once Ismark is done.
Or, as me and Irina know, a vampire cannot enter your residence without invitation.
All right. So, first off, shape-shifting, been there, done lots of that. Second,
You could shapeshift?
oh no, but I've done people who can.
I don't know what that means.
There it
Fuck
is.
'em.
Okay.
I fucked him.
There's that, okay. And he's not asking any more questions than that.
Second, like, can command you with your gaze, and assuming your shun is that this is also not sexually related yet.
Could
All right. So then moving
be.
on. So if Strahd is polite enough not to cross a threshold, you were given a deed. One would say that if you were going to be safe, you own a home, you're safe until you let them in. Unless they command you, like, come on in.
Or they trick you.
Mm.
As I said, she can shapeshift.
So how do we know that she's not you?
You don't.
She wouldn't be that submissive.
Excuse me? I'm not. Perhaps we should just continue on in our journey so we can get back to town and go our separate ways.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. It was just
Adorable.
kind of a fact.
He is going to just start speeding up, walking a little faster on this trail.
Utterly adorable.
Ileana's gonna just hurry on up and grab Ismark by the wrist, placing her fingers, just seeing if there's a pulse.
He is warm to the touch, and she can feel a very strong, very quick pulse as he kind of turns, like, flinches as you grab his wrist and kind of pulls his wrist away, kind of like looking at you warily.
Listen, I'm just checking to see if you're alive.
Well, perhaps you should start with your friends and see if
Oh, I will.
the two of them are.
I will be checking that later tonight.
Lena holds out her wrist.
And as we're walking, I'm just gonna see if there's any pulse.
Is there a pulse, Dan?
No.
All right. Okay. It's not like I want to make something clear. It's not that I don't trust you with the book. I find it to be a distraction and a way to fuck with you. And something that might be wise is when you're reading through it, I just want you to ask yourself, is this written from a lens of you? Is it written from a lens of the Strahd person? Or is it a magical narrator of sorts? If you know them well enough, and there's only details in how you died, then that might be Strahd. If there's moments that they would not be tied to, it might just be a magic book.
If I recall, the earliest memory documented in the book was a childhood one. Is that correct?
That is correct.
No, this book isn't just a record of... Well, it's called The Life of Linnell. Or History of Linnell, I should say. It's not called The Death of Linnell. It would probably be more full if it was, but... No. Some of these are precious.
I don't need your book. And she hands it back to you. I just want you to be careful. I don't want you to let it consume you. That's easy to do.
I didn't give you the book because you needed it or because it would be unsafe or unwise for me to keep it. Maybe you'll read it and you'll learn something new about me. I don't know.
Okay. I'm happy
I'm-
to.
I have lost so much of my past. I'm not even sure the kind of person I am anymore. Every day is a new lesson. So
No.
maybe you'll learn more than I have.
Well, it's a good thing that our past does not define us as people forever. And it's your constant choices and flow that do.
Question to Ileana.
Mm-hmm.
Did Ileana check Linnell's pulse?
Not yet. I have plans for that back at camp.
All right. Duly noted.
We
Oh,
just got
and-
some
And
subs.
Oh,
we're
Let
getting
me-
stressed. Give it to me.
let's see. All right. Now, I don't know for the channel points where it says would you have to say, like, type something in?
He
Oh,
just did it right now.
Put it in chat.
did it.
Excellent.
I did it.
Thank you, McClover. All right. You know what that means.
Yep. I think
You guys,
this conversation, and she's been trying to be nice to Ismark. Like, initially I know she was really rough, but she's trying to be nice to this guy and it's not connecting. And then just misreading Linnell, trying to give her back the book and be told to keep it, maybe read it. I think she's just kind of like stressed out with her interactions with people. And so that's like a weight that kind of pierces through her.
all right. Take your stress point. As you guys continue walking on, it is in fact getting increasingly dark. It's very clearly nighttime. And as the group has settled into this uncomfortable silence with all the tension and uncertainty, Ileana, you notice the very familiar sound of that music box starting back up.
And she pulls it out. I think it's gonna be a long night.
Maybe perhaps one of us should sleep on top of the thing?
I'm not letting it go.
You muffled it before. How was that again?
With the boobs.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
May I ask
Music.
what that even is and why it's so loud?
So, I kind of crash landed here. And I had a crew of amazing men. And in the hands of the one we found, dead, he had this music box and it's got wolves carved on it, and I've never seen him have it before. And it just starts playing at nighttime sometimes. And there's a hole in it for a key, but trust me, I've tried to fit a lot of things inside. We can't break it. None of the keys we found have worked thus far. And her first time looking at it didn't go very well because Ileana is not real smart. This time, she's going to try looking at it again. And I think, like, before she had passively seen the carvings, I think what I'm going to have her do is look at all sides of this music box and see if it kind of tells a story or if it's just aesthetic.
When she looks at this music box and examines the carvings within it, there doesn't appear to be any coherent story. Just, if anything, symbology. The wolves that are on the music box do not appear to be portrayed as hunting or doing anything that's outwardly dominant. If anything, they seem to be in subservient positions, bowing. Now, to what is the question, and that's something I cannot answer for you.
To me.
That comes later.
There it is.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah. And she's gonna keep it in her hand, but she's just gonna extend it out. So, I mean, I think this little wolf is my favorite, but they're all basically doing the same thing.
She's gonna look from the wolves on the music box to Ismark, back to the wolves, back to Ismark.
Don't make me tally.
Do it.
And, you know, I never saw Nash with this. And there are a lot of weird things that have been happening since we got here. How we got here is really fucking weird too, but it kind of reminds me a bit. They're not the same, but when we're in the house of, I forgot her name already. The Durst.
The Dursts.
The dust.
You say their name so elegantly, and I just sound so dumb when I say it. The Durst.
Just takes practice.
With practice makes permanent, you know what they say. But it kind of reminds me of that a bit. The carvings throughout their house, they had beautiful snakes and wolves running about. Have you seen anything like this before?
No. Not particularly. No. I would say that wolves are not exactly the best omens
Oh?
here in Barovia. We associate them with the devil Strahd.
So, okay, so since you're a ginger as well, is it like an equal amount of hatred, like the gingers and the wolves?
I mean, I don't know a true way to answer that. Wolves are just feared in general, and red hair it's more of a superstition, really, that it's said to draw the devil's Strahd, and I suppose that I'm kind of confirming that superstition as we speak.
You know, your sister also said that a lot of other ginger kids, like girls, were going missing as well. So I can't really speak for everybody, but I had assumed that you would be with them, that they were just snatching. It sounds like a South Park episode. They were just snatching all the gingers.
Oh, whew.
No, we never learned how anyone in Barovia feels about ginger snaps either, but I can imagine the reception is less than favorable.
Hatred against the cookie as well, yeah.
Well, regardless of all of that, no, I do not know the location of any of the missing girls.
Um,
And truly the only one that I know of is Gertruda.
Gertrude. I can say that. Favorite person in Barovia so far, easy to say.
Well, she's
Gertrude.
missing, so
Well, yeah, well. I tend to like
There's
dead
that.
people quite a bit, apparently. So I have a fun thought question for you. This mark on your neck, I know you're probably sick of talking about it, but it's kind of like a brand, right? She left her mark on you.
I suppose, in a way.
That's really possessive. You know what I've found that really pisses off possessive people?
What?
Is when you change the mark they left.
I know
Now,
where you're going with this. Out of character.
remember the DM I sent you earlier?
Oh god, yep.
Just-
Yep. All right. Me looking at the naughty board. Okay.
You're gonna have to add like 10 for that, but like
Ismark is like looking at you. He has no idea where you're going
Right.
to with this.
Right. So I think a great way to show that someone doesn't have power over us is taking some of our power back. And with your permission, not in a lewd way, I have a reputation. Not that y'all would know, but you can assume. I think we should fuck up that mark and see if it helps keep you safer.
You want to mutilate my neck further.
Just a little. I'll heal you. Avreya's learning really well. She could
I'm
help me.
trying, but
If not, dear, I can heal it. I got magic for that. But
you'll indulge me. I get it.
Could you just not heal this and get rid of the marks to begin with?
we could try cutting it out and healing it over. But I don't think I can heal scars yet. Not until I grow more powerful. But that takes a lot of time and practice.
I might have some idea.
I have a fun idea.
I also have a fun idea.
We should compare notes.
Should I be scared of these ideas? And he's like backing up a little bit.
And she's not gonna lean forward. She's stay like super calm. That's really up to you. I would tell you what mine is in your ear privately, because there's things about me I don't want people to know yet. I don't know. Lena, fuck me.
It's just every game, every session.
game.
It has to happen at least once.
Yep.
First.
What's your plan? Like, what do you think?
Well,
And would this potentially make the obsession more like?
I was simply proposing, given your idea, rather ingenious, by the way, of altering the state of the fang marks. I would simply propose, what do they call it, a love bite of a different kind.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. So,
Not an actual bite per se, dear boy. Please try to relax and promise.
Yes, meet a bunch of strangers that do not look like they are from here, and you nearly die to a strange giant flesh mound, and
Yes,
I'm
but
being
we've
chased
moved
by-
past all of that now. It's
yeah,
over.
so and you.
Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened and it's done with.
Okay.
Regardless, I think, and he looks like he's overwhelmed. He's just, perhaps another time, but this, I would just like to sleep in a bed and pretend like the events of the past, who knows how many days, is just an unpleasant memory. And Irina and I will deal with it. So thank you. I'm sure that you mean well from the bottom of your hearts, and that you are offering this in kindness. But perhaps let me think on it. And
think about it. And if you decide that's what you want to try, let me know, because I'll share something real private with you. But I'm only going to show you once. But another note, you should contemplate when you're sleeping, because you're probably not going to fall asleep right away. This place has a way of keeping you up late at night. Irina couldn't protect you. She could not save you. No one there could. And you know who she got to come help you? Us.
I should have done better to take care of myself.
No.
And Irina...
We can't do everything alone. Y'all are going through grief. You're doing the best you can. But none of us are capable of doing everything.
Precisely.
If you decide to have no more contact with us because, we're weird, admittedly, you don't gotta. You can come find us anytime. Call us at any moment. We're assholes, but we'll be there. I don't belong here. Avrea does not belong here.
No.
And I don't know if you guys are native to here, except for Sarah, but maybe you guys don't belong here either, and you just don't remember.
Not entirely native, no.
And I'll make a note as DM that Sarah has been with everyone, but awfully quiet and contemplative. And though she is listening to this conversation, she has chose not to remark on anything. And what's everyone's passive perception?
12.
15.
Yeah.
14.
15. Okay. Ileana, you would be the only one that would see this, that she looks restless.
Well, it's late. Well, you should all probably get some sleep. And when we wake up, we should be able to hit town in the daylight. Unless you guys want to push on through the night.
Much prefer
think-
to rest.
Resting is the best option.
All right. So everyone decides to settle down. Again, I would assume on the path like last time. It is not quiet. You're surrounded by the sounds of wildlife, buzzing of bugs. But perhaps amongst a few of the different members of your party, it's quiet. Ismark chooses a spot not too far away, but far enough away to consider the options that you all have given him and contemplate what that means for him moving forward. Sarah, likewise, settles down not too far away from Ismark, keeping an eye on him, making sure he doesn't run loose, which leaves the four of you to determine how you are spending this long rest and the time that you have during it.
I think if Sarah is on one side of Ismark, she's going to be on the other. Not too far away, but enough to keep an eye on him. And to get rid of the stress point, she is going to be meditating. But the way Lena meditates is by fantasizing. So do with that what you will.
All right. And that's what she's doing in her free time before she trances?
Yeah, getting rid of that stress point.
All right. You can remove that stress point. Let's go with Patch. What is Linnell doing?
Well, she doesn't have that book to obsess over anymore, so she pulls out her other book.
More books.
She's gonna mostly do nothing, but she will flick through the spell book that was found in the Durst household and just take note of the incantations that are in there and sort of plan in her mind how she's gonna try and learn some of these and plan what she needs to do so.
All right. Okay, who would like to go next? Avreya or Ileana?
Do it,
Before going to sleep, I would like to forage and find ingredients to prepare a poultice in case we need it later.
All right, let me go ahead and for everyone who is watching and in the chat, just as a reminder, we have channel points and some of them can be redeemed to provide extra foraging to my players as they make their way around Barovia. And they have acquired so far, looks like 6 extra foraging tokens. So let's go ahead.
Okay.
You're going to use them all?
No.
Make that 7.
Ooh.
7.
Oh,
8.
Excellent. 8.
9.
Eight.
Make that.
All right, look at y'all. And for those watching, with the foraging system, what this means is that there are going to be different things available to them depending on where they are at. So they will need to keep that in mind as they are traveling so they can decide whether they should utilize all of them at once or not. So let's go ahead and get to the row table. Go ahead and, Avreya, are you proficient in survival?
Yes. Oh,
Yes.
another
All right.
raid.
We got another raid.
Raid. Hello, raiders. Hi, girls that run these worlds. Thank you. Roll me a d20, please.
Could I make a medicine check first to see what kind of things do I need? What kind of leaves and stuff? Would that make a difference?
Now, does Avreya have proficiency in herbalism or anything of the sorts?
No. Okay.
Okay. She would remember that there is a present member of her party that does, and perhaps it may be a good opportunity to have that discussion with her.
Right. I guess I do go up to Lena. I remember you like herbs and stuff, right? Plants, that kind of
Yes.
thing. Do you know of any that could make a good poultice?
Let me double check something here.
And I have that if you need it, Lena.
Yes, please.
All right, let me pull it up. So, Lena, in her little herbalism notebook, when she opens it up, would know that to make like a general healing potion or salve, depending on how she would want to make that she could use plants such as aloe or rowan, scarlet fay cup, seaweed, and various other ones that I can put into the chat.
Okay, then I do have it. I see you on the Google Doc.
Yeah. So, yes.
Would you, Avrea, would you, like some help foraging for these herbs?
If you want to.
Of course. And what do we do for foraging?
All right. So foraging, just a reminder, requires a survival check. So I will need a survival check from whoever's foraging. And if you're assisting with this, I will give Avrea advantage.
Yes, she'll be describing the differences between some of these plants, what to look for, what plants to avoid, providing as much knowledge as she can in order to assist Avrea.
So that's a 13.
13.
How does the extra rolls work?
The extra rolls are for the amounts of things that you find.
Okay.
So that was with advantage of 13? Unfortunately, with a 13, that means that as you guys search in the surrounding area, you continue looking. It appears to be sparse where you all are camped. And as you walk further and further away, you hear the howls of wolves. And that, perhaps, is a deterrent from moving forward any further. But reminder, and for everyone in chat, there are inspiration keys available to you all.
But that, I need to say that I'm using them before.
Oh yeah, we did make that rule, didn't we? Yeah, so in the future, if you wanted to use that, you can.
I keep forgetting.
Can Lena make an attempt to forage herself?
I'm thinking about how much time that you guys are spending with stuff. Since you have 4... How many hours does Lena have? Is it...
4.
4? Okay. I will go ahead and allow that, then.
Okay. So, okay, inspiration... so I would have to say that I want to use an inspiration key before I make the roll?
Yes.
Okay.
And since you both have 4 hours of free time, I will allow Avrea to give you a help action. So you can get double. You can get advantage plus a reroll of both.
Oh my god. 22.
22. Excellent. All right. Then I will have you roll. How many, before you make these rolls, you guys have 9 foraging counters to give you additional things. I will have you tell me how many of those you plan on using before you make these rolls.
Let's use a couple.
3?
3?
Yeah.
All right. Roll me 4d6.
Okay. Let's see. All right. 3, a 2, a 4, and another 4.
And another 4. All right. Total of 13. All right. I will go ahead, open that up. And we will do the determinations on what all is there. But I would say in this area, it would be safe to say that you do acquire... Let me go to the thing. You do, at the very least, acquire some moss, which can be used in your recipe. So, and I will send you a full list so we can get to tracking the other things.
Okay.
For my long rest, still keeping an eye out, like passively. But after she rests and she sees Linnell studying in her book, I think she's gonna go over to Linnell. I know you're reading. Can I intrude on your personal space for a while? I'd like to just rest my head on your chest and listen for a heartbeat.
She didn't say anything, but she just sort of changes the way that she's sat. I imagine it like against a tree.
And she'll put her head against her chest, and it's not gonna be like a quick listen. She's going to patiently wait for a good hour if Linnell doesn't move.
Now, Linnell, do you know if you have a heartbeat or not?
So, here's how I have interpreted this. Way back when we started this campaign and we did the introductory flashbacks, one of the first things you said about Linnell was about her feeling her heartbeat quicken. And I like to think, it's DM's choice, but I like to think that she doesn't have a heartbeat. But when she's feeling heightened emotion, it's almost like muscle memory. It's almost like maybe the heart feels like it's beating.
I'll allow that. I'll give you your agency for that.
So you would feel no heartbeat.
Interesting. I wonder if this means I can still heal you. I mean, you bleed.
I do. I'm sure an opportunity will come up when you can try. Because I'm so careless.
But how do you bleed if your heart doesn't beat?
I mean, I don't understand any of it. If my heart doesn't beat, how am I conscious? How can I do things?
If your heart doesn't beat, what happens when I do some of my magics?
It's a good question. I don't know.
I'm sorry, Linnell.
Don't need to apologize for anything.
I'm apologizing as a precursor in case we end up in a situation where I accidentally hurt you.
You know, I don't even know how old I am at this point.
Your book's not dated?
No. Apparently
Some
not.
history.
I know, right?
If only they took notes like a wizard would.
I guess that's where I have the upper hand against Strahd von Zero bitch.
I dare you. Call them that to their face.
Oh, I have several times. That's how I got some of these scars, actually.
Oh, okay. I'll let you get back to your reading. I just needed to know.
Look, you don't worry about hurting me. I've been through enough pain.
Your body is a roadmap, Linnell.
Yes, it is.
I don't want to add to it.
Some pain is good pain.
Don't gotta tell me that.
I didn't mean it like that, but sure. I guess,
Yeah.
maybe. I don't know.
With a form up, it's not so bad. She's just gonna leave you. And then take that music box and put it in front of her. And she's gonna get on her knees. And she's going to put her head down to the floor, bowing like the wolves in that music box, just to see what happens.
Nothing.
It was worth a shot. And she's just gonna keep watch for the rest of her night.
All right. Lena and Avrea, you come back with a pretty successful forage. It took you a little bit of time, but your packs are full of different herbs and plants. And when you come back, you see Sarah and Ismark fast asleep. And would they find Linnell and Ileana together?
I mean, we said an hour, didn't we? Depends how long the forage is.
Yeah, it's taken them quite a while. So would you guys have gone off to your own separate areas, or are you hanging out?
I'd be keeping sentinel.
All
I don't think Linnell would move anywhere.
right. So I think all that would be left to do after doing your activities for the night is to rest. Now, Ismark and Sarah appear to be sleeping. The rest of you are trancing. Ileana, are you covering the music box like you did last time?
With the titties?
Yeah,
Yes.
with the titties.
Mhm.
All right.
I would tell Ileana that I heard wolves to look out for wolves.
Well, Avrea, depending on how intrigued by this music box I get, I might just go find some wolves.
I don't know if that's a good idea, but suit yourself.
It's probably not. Don't worry, dear. I'm staying here. Y'all get some sleep.
All right.
All right. Thus, the long rest completes. It is substantially brighter when you all fully awaken or come to from your trances. Though this is bright for Barovia, so it's not saying much with the perpetual overcast. But it's clear that it is much safer to get going and travel.
Can I add, when Lena wakes up, it might look strange, but she's essentially stretching in yoga, doing yoga.
That's canon now. Lena does yoga. Morning yoga. Something interesting to add, when you all wake up, Sarah is nowhere to be found.
What the hell?
What about Ismark?
Ismark's still there. He kind of wakes up groggily and kind of reorients himself, looking around, spotting almost everyone.
Can I roll to look for tracks?
Yeah, go ahead. Roll me investigation. Or perception, depending on how you want to do that.
I'm gonna go with perception because it's higher. It's a better number.
Because it's just better.
15.
15. You don't spot anything.
Maybe she's hunting.
Do you not see her go away?
Sarah!
Your voice echoes amongst the woods. Nothing returns.
Why would she leave?
Not a good sign.
Let's take a look around. We stick together.
And if she left, and we find nothing but only get lost.
Well, perhaps she went back to town. I don't think we're too far a journey from reaching it. I mean,
Why wouldn't she have waited?
well, how well do you all seem to know each other? You seem to be, as we're talking, learning new things amongst yourselves.
What we have observed is that Sarah values her 8 hours of sleep.
Sounds
This
kinda
is
shitty, just
surprising.
Let's go to town. And
Yeah.
when we find her, I mean, she got a problem. She can't punch an envelope. She can punch me.
Well, I suppose we should keep a watchful eye out as we make our way back.
Do you need to hide your hair? If we're getting into town, you're a problem.
Yes, I do. I don't have anything that I used to use to cover it, though.
All right.
I suppose
Ray, how much of your skirt has survived the death house? Could we spare a couple more inches of fabric?
I was thinking maybe something that we gathered yesterday. If we could make the hair more dirty and change the color.
Sure, there's
So,
always
I think-
mud, I suppose.
We could do both. Let's
Linnell
Dirty mud
extends.
boy.
Linnell extends a hand, and in the hand is the Durst top hat.
Good point.
Well, I feel like I'd look awful silly, but I suppose it's better than getting run out of town. So he looks at it and he's just like stuffing all his hair into it. He's
Better
like
than I would
tucking
have
it
come
in.
up with.
If I had a spare shirt, I don't wear a lot of clothes though. I would give you like a do-rag or something.
Does this
I do
do
want-
the trick? Does it hide? Do I need to do anything else?
Well,
I do want to try
Barovian,
something.
Yes,
I
Alfreya?
mean, I learned something yesterday. I don't know if this is how it works, but I want to try. I go like pass my hand through his hair and cast prestidigitation and try to change its color. I don't know if it works that
Oh.
way, but
I've allowed prestidigitation for interesting things in the past. How long is the effect for?
1 hour.
1 hour. Prestidigitation can clean and soil certain things within a certain space, so I'll
It does
allow
look
it.
Okay.
I'll allow it for that hour.
Okay, thank you.
What color will you change it to?
Green. No.
Oh my god.
I kind of like it.
We're going vibrant colors.
Hell yeah.
Sure. I mean, I'm gonna say that I still don't have a grasp on the magic.
Should we
Love.
roll for it then? Is what you're saying.
Oh, okay.
Roll for color.
We have
Roll
a party of Easter eggs.
roll me a d4.
Okay.
I'll write
That's a
down.
3.
He gets a vibrant color.
Nice.
All
Thanks,
right.
Green.
Okay, we're gonna do Roy G. Biv. Roll me. And then I'll put in this one. Okay, roll me a d6.
Oh, okay.
Fun.
A 3.
3. Yellow.
Nice.
A very vibrant yellow. And of course, Ismark cannot see that it has, in fact, been changed. He's just like, well, how does it look? Will this do?
My Goldilocks, how you've changed.
I
It's
was going for
golden.
blonde. It is kind of blonde.
You look like a Ken. I don't know why that name is coming into my mind, but
What's a
Yeah.
cat?
Damn it.
You know what makes me
You
so
broke Bridget.
happy? Avrea, it reminds me of a sunflower, and that really does just speak to your magic.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I guess it's the one thing that looks nice here in Barovia.
That is
Like-
true.
no. There's a few things that look nice in Barovia. I mean, present company, of course.
Oh,
You,
well, of course.
you know what has me a little bit sad? We've
What?
not seen the moon. We've not seen the sun since we've been here. I miss the sky. I miss the stars.
Me too.
This is always how the sky looks. I mean, apart from darker clouds when it rains.
Avrea, do you have like magic that shows things?
I'll try to do kind of sparkles with prestidigitation.
So those sparkles are in a vast expanse of the deepest, darkest blue, blacks and purples you've ever seen. And in it is like spheres of different colors and shapes throughout the entire expanse. They're just speckled. And from some places, you can see a sphere that burns this beautiful silver, and it's got little craters in it. There's one that's red. Sometimes there's a silver and a red one. Like, but there's always those little sparkly speckles up there. I miss seeing that so much.
Me too. I mean, you were closer to it, but it was pretty from down there as well.
It's beautiful from everywhere. And here we just have the fuck this is.
Maybe not forever.
It'd be nice to kind of like punch a hole in it and just make it move so we could show you guys.
Finally Sarah over here.
And I will note, because does prestidigitation stack? I think when you use that, his hair would have gone back to blonde.
I think it's up to 3 times.
Up to 3 times? Okay, cool. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, up to 3.
Up to 3 times. Cool. All right.
But like the trip to the village is also called Barovia, right?
Yes. The
It's not
village of
just
Barovia.
1 hour, so I would keep an eye on the hair.
He's just having like ever-changing hair each time that you cast this. I'm gonna have you roll once you get back to town, so keep that in mind. All right. Ismark is still going to kind of shove his hair into that hat, and he looks very uncomfortable in like his strange attire, but he is just going with it. And as you all continue walking, you do eventually see buildings appear in the distance, the tops of the roofs, the gloomy, dismal village of Barovia. With that, it is time for our break. We will continue in the village when we come back. So we're just going to do a short little bio break, and we'll see everyone soon.
See you shortly.
See you again.
Bye.
See you soon.
This is day 474. Dr. Samuel Carver recording, as always. As of this day, we are officially on our own. Communication has been reduced to local transmissions within a mile of base camp. Word has not yet reached our ears of any potential rescue, even less word of a cure. Hope continues to dwindle. It's strange to think back to the days before, watching America consume itself on the news and thinking, it'll never reach here. How wrong we were. Our supplies will probably last us another week at best. But with the long nights of winter on the horizon, the danger escalates further. If you were to ask me my honest opinion, we have 72 hours at best. So, if you're hearing this message, then rescue has arrived all too late for us. But, to the few who remain, against all odds, I wish you luck. And remember, when you're lost in the darkness, look for the light.
The world has changed. The coming of calamity and those who rose up against it. Victory was gained, but at a cost. The lone swordsman lays dormant. The country without rule. A people fractured under the anxiety of what is yet to come. But within these fractured lands is something thought lost to time, but not lost, merely patiently waiting. And now, with no champions left standing, there will be no will other than mine. Renounce your petty gods and worship me, for I am Majora. You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?
And welcome back, friends, to Quest Junkies. It's Friday night. It's Strahdalicious. Dungeon Mommy, handle us with care. Oh no.
I make zero promises on that. You guys will. You don't even need my help on that. You guys will just get yourself into a mess of trouble. But anyways, back. All right. So, note before we start, just a reminder. It is September on Twitch. So if you are watching us from the chat right now, just a friendly reminder that Ileana has is generous the word? She has allowed herself to be tortured. So for anyone who donates 5 subs, like the little packaged 5 subs, and tags that it's for Ileana, she will accrue a stress point, and this would be punishment for not using the Wheel of Dread. So.
Yes, as I'm the only person who has not used the Wheel of Dread, because I am a firm believer, I will curse it.
We'll just have to see. This is Curse of Strahd, so...
True. Maybe I should just lean into it.
Maybe it cancels itself out that way.
Yeah, maybe. It becomes Blessing of Strahd, all right? I don't know. I don't know your life. I don't know your choices. You guys are going to play this campaign however you wish to. But speaking of which, getting back into it, last we left off, our party was making their way back into town. Entering town, a small drizzle starts. Rain clouds in the sky, dampening the air and making it feel much colder. As you walk the sorrowful streets of Barovia, they appear quite empty. Not altogether strange for this area, but for those of you who haven't spent a lot of time in town, if it weren't for the occasional flicker of lamplight shining through behind closed curtains, you might feel like this was a ghost town of sorts. You feel the broken cobblestones underfoot as you enter, making your way back towards the Blood of the Vine Tavern. But as you round a corner, you spot a figure. A small, old woman standing outside of a house with an open door, conversing with a woman standing in the frame, warm lamplight pooling from the inside. Now, those of you who are not as perceptive as Ileana might not be able to hear this from the distance, but Ileana, with your passive, you would be able to overhear the conversation if you choose to.
Oh, we snooping.
You snooping? You gonna choose to snoop? The woman in the doorway is practically in tears, profusely thanking the little old lady standing outside of the door, who appears to have with her a cart. You watch as the little old lady hands over 2 small parcels of what you can't tell until you start listening to the conversation itself. I can't thank you enough for your generosity. Oh, stop, dearie. They're just pies, but I'm so happy you like them. And they continue their chitter-chatter, waving each other fond goodbyes. And you see the little old lady begin to wheel her cart slowly away, struggling to navigate the now muddy street thanks to the drizzle.
Are you guys feeling hungry? Personally, I'm a brownie girl, but that lady over there has pie.
I mean, how much would it cost? I'm trying to
I'm-
save up. I don't know for what, but I feel like we need all that we can.
Let's go find out. Or I'll go catch her. One sec. And Ellie's just gonna start like sprinting towards the little old lady.
All right. She rounds a corner, disappearing from your view. But Ileana, very quickly, you begin to hear something amiss. Shouting from around the corner. It's you's fault that Thomas won't come out drinking anymore. What did you say to him? And you hear a crash.
Oh. And she's gonna round the corner.
You notice two seemingly drunk men standing above the little old lady in her cart. The old lady is, presumably she's been pushed down, and her cart is toppled. She looks terrified.
All right, chuckle fucks. And she's gonna stand over the little old lady. I was about to get some dessert. And y'all are causing a problem.
And who in the hells are you?
The name's Ileana. This is the last time you'll hear my name.
All right. Are you going to attempt to fight, or do you want to roll me an intimidation check?
You know what? I'm gonna open myself up to a fight by spitting at their feet, giving them my back, and helping the old woman up.
I'm going to have you roll intimidation to see how they would take that.
Okay. What is my intimidation? A 2.
A +2. All right.
All right. We're gonna do the bloody dice. It's fitting, potentially. That's a nat 20 +2.
Nat 20 is in chat. We get
Woo!
Served.
Yeah, boss bitch.
We need the... Oh, why did it not show up? Where's my chat 20s? There we go.
Yeah.
Cover my screen. As you almost nonchalantly and with... you frankly seem to give zero fucks. Let's just put this plainly. The two men look between each other, seemingly think for a second before determining that maybe you're not someone to fuck around with. And you kind of like see out of the corner of your eye as the other one, his other one, it's not worth it, just find her fucking later. And they make their way off, leaving you alone with the little old lady.
Well, dear, seems like you found yourself in not such a great situation. Those boys want to find you later.
Oh, well, I'd say that I'm used to it, but it never gets any easier, but thank you, dearie. The name's Granny. Don't worry about me. And she starts like gathering herself and trying to pull up her cart. It's really heavy and she's struggling.
One moment, we'll set you right. Do you get fucked with quite often?
Well, yeah, it's, I'm just one person, and the dangerous streets of Barovia, and you know how those things get. Yeah, you don't look very familiar, dear.
And I make eye contact, and she sees that I don't have normal eyes. I have snake eyes. And I'm kind of looking at her hair. I'm like, well, you don't look like a ginger, so why would they be picking on you?
The riffraff in these parts. I try to do good here, and you gotta understand that if you're not from this place, you would know that they just... There's not a lot of hope, and when people try to instill hope into the village, people don't like that, and they like to snuff it out.
You know what would be insanely fun?
What is that?
How about I take one of your pies and I chase down those men and make them eat them?
Here, if you did that for me, I already was planning on giving you some pies for helping me out. But I think I could spare another pie or two for that.
You know, I think I could meet a lot of people that I could share pie with. I don't particularly like it myself. I'm a brownie girl, but...
Well, I have all sorts. I got the savory types, the sweet types. I gotta check. I got different kinds depending on the days, you know. But my daughters help me. You know, those hands get a little shaky as you age.
How many daughters do you have?
I have 3. They're a little older, but, you know, it's nice to have them around.
And do you all have floating carts, or do they stay at home?
Well, we rotate occasionally, but they're much better at baking the pies than I am, and, you know, I have more of a rapport with the villagers around here, and...
A rapport, is that what you call being bullied?
Well, not everyone is so put off by the work I do here, but...
You're probably the least off-putting person I've met in Barovia thus far.
Aren't you the sweetest thing? Shucks. Well, you know, don't even waste your time with the riffraff. It's just... I mean, I'm not going to say no if you wanted to. Those boys are up to no good, so, I mean, they could stand to learn a lesson or two, but...
Well...
Here, and she's going to start going into her cart, and you see, like, her, like, shaking hands as she opens it up and kind of files through the thing and brings, like, a nice, warm-smelling pie. You'd smell... This one smells very sweet.
Well, I'm going to take the pie from her. I'm going to go ahead and share this with those assholes. And anyone else who wants a pie. You know what? I'll take another one.
Did you have a preference in kind of flavor?
What's your favorite?
Oh, well, it just depends. Sometimes I'm craving something sweet. Sometimes I'm craving something savory. I have, you know, bean pies. I got meat pies. I got, well, sometimes I got pumpkin, and pumpkin's very popular.
What kind of meat do you guys use around here? Like, do you hunt wolves, or is it like a wolf pie?
Oh, goodness. No, rabbit. It's kind of whatever we can get our hands on. To be completely honest with you, sometimes, you know, you can get deer, so you get that good venison. Well...
I'll go ahead and take a meat pie.
All right.
Yeah.
Did you have a preference? I think I got some rabbit in here.
You know what? Dealer's choice.
All right. And she goes in and reaches and get like a just very savory smelling pie. Like, is that like thyme? Thyme? Oh no, how do you say that? You smell savory spices on this pie. Let's just go with that.
Yeah.
It smells delicious.
Well, blessings of Shar to you and your daughters. May sorrow fill you and make your day better.
Well, I'm not too certain who Shar is, but if she's anything like you, she's a kind lady.
You have no idea. Is there anything else I can help you with, ma'am?
No, I'm just very thankful that you were here when you were.
Well, I'd invest in a weapon, and next time some assholes come along, I'd stab them. I wouldn't put up with shit.
Well, I can only do so much with these, but I'll keep that in mind, dearie.
All right. Well, I'll see you again. I'm sure your pies are really good.
If you need anything, I'll be I gotta drop this latest batch, what I got left of it, over to the tavern in town, and perhaps we'll be able to say hi again.
All right. You have a great day. Bye,
You
Granny.
too. And she kind of like dusts herself off and is like checking her cart to make sure that it's not like broken or anything in any way, and continues to push it along, giving you a friendly wave. And you have 2 pies acquired.
Yeah. Ileana comes back with 2 pies. Y'all hungry? Evrea, like,
Yeah.
I thought of you specifically.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. You know?
Did it cost anything?
No, it was free. Some assholes pushed over this little lady, and she had a pie cart. So if you want the fruit pie, I think I'm gonna hold on to the savory pie because I thought of a new awful thing to do to somebody later.
Pray tell.
Well, you know how I took the ovaries out of Mrs. Durst and made her eat it?
That was cool.
I'm gonna do something more fun with the pie. It's gonna go in some orifice, I'm sure.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, that's a gift just waiting to be made.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That just needed to happen. That mark needed to happen on that. Not
Mm-hmm.
Ismark gives you a look of, well, honestly, is he that surprised? That's the question. He feels like he should be more surprised than he is, but you do see a look of just, like, perhaps disbelief.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I shouldn't be asking more questions, but I can't help myself. You're not going to murder those men, are you?
Depends on their behavior when I meet them again. They pushed over that little old lady and they were gonna fuck her shit up. And, you know, it's really weird considering that no one's messed with us except for give us weird looks. But they'll mess with the likes of you. They'll mess with the likes of the elderly. And I don't like that one bit. They were 2 drunk men. She's one woman on her own, and men are scary.
He just had a bat fly down.
That's fine.
That was ominous for the stream. Well, I hate to say that this is unfortunately. You all look like you can handle yourselves, and I don't. People like this little old woman that you mentioned are easy targets. Not everyone is. Most people actually aren't that nice here in Barovia.
But why?
He gestures around. We have nothing. And some people just. Well.
Ismark. Nobody has nothing. Because if that old woman had nothing, there'd be nothing worth those men taking. And They were trying to take something from her. They were trying to probably take her dignity, her health. You always have something that can be taken. It just takes a little imagination. You always have something, as long as you're functioning.
Perhaps you're right. But regardless, I need to find my sister. And
I think she said she'd meet us at the tavern.
Yes.
But
should we split up, perhaps? You guys go to the tavern. I would like to check the manor. It's daytime, so things should be quite all right to go look around there. And I don't imagine that she's staying the whole time waiting in the tavern. Unless you all would like to come back to the manor. I don't know why you're giving me that face, but
listen,
We're not leaving you alone. We just rescued you. Also, your
I
hair
am a
is gonna
grown man,
turn-
and I can handle myself in town. I'm disguised. My hair is hidden. You've done that, and I greatly appreciate that, but
It's gonna turn back. And you could have taken care of yourself the first time as well, right?
while I was alone, venturing out into
Exactly.
the middle
We
of
don't want to leave
nowhere,
you
and I
alone.
don't plan on doing that again, so...
Ismark, we're going with you. Because the thing is, we took a job, and the job's not done until we meet the person who gave it to us. So we're not splitting up, you're not going on your own, and we've got your back in case more of those assholes appear. So just lead the way. Don't waste your breath.
I'll just add that as this conversation is happening, she'd be sure to stand not too far away from Ismark and just kind of stand with her right hip like cocked out so that you could see the rope still at her hip.
He shoots Lena a dirty look at that, like noticing and seeing that, like, you're positioning yourself in, like, that almost like a captor.
She winks.
Well, it seems like I'm not getting out of any of your sights anytime soon, so I will follow your lead. Would you like to check the tavern, or would you like to check back at my manor?
We can go to the manor.
Yeah, we'll get you home. I don't want to keep you longer than needed. I bet you just really want your own bed, nice bath, and to find some comfort.
And a change of clothes would be quite nice.
Yeah, those are nasty.
Well, you try being stuck for it indeterminate amount of time, and
What do we say?
he doesn't respond to that, Lena. He just shoots you another dirty look, and he starts stomping away from the group. Kind of like, but he does, like, he gestures with his chin, like, to follow him as he goes down the road, leading you all elsewhere.
Adorable.
Hi, Raiders.
Hi, Raiders! Hello, another UK. There we go.
Always good for a bit of UK representation.
Well, now that that's settled, was it this cold when we left?
Wait, what?
Was it this cold when we left town?
Don't believe so.
Is there a reason for that? It's supposed to be the middle of the day.
Might try to catch a few of the droplets of the drizzle.
Just
Actually, question for the DM. When was the last time it rained here? Or has it?
It rains fairly often in Barovia. It comes with the overcast and the gloom.
Just like the
It's
UK.
not uncommon.
It's season
Surprise, you're not in Barovia, you're in the UK.
Yep. Makes so much sense.
You know,
Are there seasons in Barovia?
And are you asking loud enough that Ismark, who's stomping much ahead of you guys, is able to listen?
Yeah.
Rain and more rain, and gets very cold at certain points of the year, but I mean, this is about it.
Okay.
you know what sucks most about this kind of weather? It makes me feel a little lethargic. I feel like I need to hibernate.
It's not great, but you know where it doesn't rain? Indoors. Shall we?
Yeah, let's go.
We shall.
You follow Ismark down the cobblestone paths, following as he turns left here, turns right there, until you come upon a weary-looking manor, squatting behind a rusting iron fence. As he pushes open the gate, you would notice that the gate is twisted and torn. The right side of the gate lays fallen aside, just as if something had caught it right off the hinges. And it stutters and squeals as he pushes through to open up the other one all the way. Weeds choke the grounds of this manor, and they almost seem to press with menace against the house itself. Yet, against these walls, the growth has been trampled down to create paths all around this domain. And perhaps the things that stand out the most to you all is heavy claw markings that have stripped the once beautiful finishes of the manor. Great black marks tell of perhaps fires that have assailed the outside of the manor. And not a pane nor a shard of glass stands in any window. All the windows have been barred with planks. Ismark marches silently up to the door and bangs upon it.
Does your house usually look like this?
As of recent, yes. Always, no.
Even with your sister being the mayor burger person?
Well, if you must know, it has acquired this delightful appearance on the outside around the same time that I started having visits from the delightful pest that is the one who made these marks.
So you're being stalked, assaulted, and basically torn apart by this person.
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
Well, could be worse, I suppose. And with that, the door to the manor swings open, and you all would see Irina standing in the doorway. And she stops for a moment, almost as if in disbelief, before she kind of lunges forward and wraps Ismark into a giant, tight hug, holding him close. quiet for a moment before letting go, and quickly, without addressing you all, she's looking him up and down, checking for any signs of injuries or marks, and she ushers him in, and then finally looks towards the rest of you. I wasn't expecting you all to actually find him, but you did. Come in. I'm not going to have you stand outside of the doorway. Please. Would you like to rest inside, and you can fill me in on everything that happened?
Stepping over the threshold.
Thank you. As I go in, I brush off a tear that, if you looked at it, would be like it was the reflection of the tear would be kind of a golden color.
Oh.
But I just thank you.
And as soon as you all file in the doorway, she will stick her head out, looking around for anyone else, before slamming the door shut. And you all would see on the inside where it's been fashioned to lock the door sturdily from the inside, as to prevent intrusion from people who are unwanted within the manor.
Arena, are people or this person coming through the doors and the windows?
It's not, one second. And she kind of like looks over to Ismark, and she kind of wordlessly ushers him up the stairs. He is still covered in dirt and grime. He is not going to complain about this, and he quickly makes his way up the stairs. If you're asking about the problem, the devil, I'm assuming that Ismark probably filled you all in on.
A little bit.
No, it's not necessarily. Well, I think it is her, just not her. It's the monsters that she sends to try to coax Ismark out of the manor.
Her pets.
She's using monsters to coax Ismark. That doesn't sound like his cup of tea.
Well, it isn't his cup of tea, and that's why that's why he shouldn't have gone out to find the heirloom, but he did, and regardless, I'm being so rude right now. Why don't you all sit down? I will get everyone some cups of tea, and we can talk some more in depth about this.
He was sent to find an heirloom.
Yes, the letter that I had mentioned, our father,
He said it ended up being useless and not worth it.
she wilts at that information visibly. Well, that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Regardless, my brother's back and he's safe, and I assume I have you all to thank for that. But wasn't there one more of you?
Yes, have you seen her around?
No, the big muscly one? No. I feel like I would have noticed her, definitely, if she was around, but no.
We seem to have misplaced her.
Well, I'll keep an eye out, and certainly if you'd like, I could ask some of the local business owners if they'd keep an eye out, and...
No.
No. We'll keep this on the down low.
Oh, okay. But would you all like some tea, and to sit down?
Sure.
Is there anything you need to do? I mean, we've got a few people good with herbs. They could work on making tea if you want to go check on your brother and settle in.
Yeah, I'll be back down, but, make yourselves comfortable. Just don't go into the side room here. Our father's in it. But there's a sitting room if you go through down the hall to the left there, and it's...
In the kitchen to make tea?
Yes, if you follow down the other hall, you'll reach the kitchens. And my house is your house. I really can't thank you all enough for what you've done for me. And, your friend that's gone, she wanted the letter opener.
Yes.
I'll grab that, and I trust I can entrust that with you all.
Of course.
And she kind of gestures again towards the sitting area in the kitchens, and she's going to go up the stairs to find Ismark. You all are left alone in the foyer.
Y'all, what the fuck?
I would be sitting in a corner just silently, and my eyes turn an amber color, and I would like to take a stress point because one of my fears is kind of coming to life.
All right. As you take that, would you like to elaborate on what it is, or at least allude to the feelings you have as you take this point of stress?
So, having seen Irina hug Ismark that tightly, that lovingly, I was reminded of not being able to see my brother anytime soon, or at all, ever again. And I was also, when we started talking about Sarah, I just felt like one more person abandoned me, or rather, one more person that is out of reach again, and that all comes together.
All right. So you take that stress point. Left to your own devices, you would finally be able to take in the appearance of the interior of the manor. It's well furnished, yet both the furniture and the fixtures show signs of great wear. You can see the noticeable oddities, such as the boarded up windows from the inside, and the presence of seemingly holy symbols on every wall. Suns blazing brightly. The door to the side room that Irina had pointed out is shut, with a lock on it.
I think while everyone else is doing whatever it is they're doing, I think Linnell, firstly, is a little uncomfortable just being indoors. So she's sticking close to the wall. In particular, I imagine she's over by one of the boarded up windows and just looking through any cracks that there might be, any gaps, looking to see if Sarah is about. Just keeping an eye out.
Okay. There is nothing of note. When she leans forward and finds little cracks between each plank. And since it is daylight, it really, if anything, it's just more strange that there doesn't appear to be many people out and about on the streets. Not that that's totally out of the norm for a place like Barovia, but it does instill a sense of eeriness within your chest.
I feel like we've missed something. Stay on guard.
Of course. I'll add that she'd find the nearest couch, rest her chin in her hand a little bit. Her eyes would be wandering, taking in all the scenes, all the sights, before they'd settle back on Ileana. And I think she's going to accidentally cast Message so that Ileana would hear Lena's voice in her head as a thought, essentially. It sounds like it would have come directly from her head. The thought is, if only the two of us were truly alone.
Ileana is just giggling. So, if no one else is gonna make the tea, I think I'm gonna go make the tea. This day, I swear. If you need, okay, she gonna go.
Although there would be
That's a
little,
response. All right, bye.
there would be little awareness
Cool.
of what just happened, so she might look after you confusingly. But if no one else goes to help her with the tea, then yeah, she'd get up and.
Mm-hmm. So,
What sort of tea do you imagine they hold in the manor?
well, I mean, it's just you and I alone right now. I can honestly say that I have no shit about tea. I was just gonna throw some words together if they smell good. So you could probably make something better than I could. I was thinking maybe like a little bit of the. I don't know if they have dandelion in Barovia, but this probably looks like dandelion. I'm gonna throw it in.
Ooh.
See several canisters of unmarked things, but they kind of look like tea canisters lined up on one of the little walls next to the kettle.
And fun fact, I have personally mushrooms from
What sort of
other
mushrooms?
the drug kind.
This is gonna go somewhere that's gonna end really well.
So, I think we
okay.
should table this for some time when we all just like really need to let loose. Ileana has drug mushrooms.
Well, we've just made it through a rather terrible affair. We're finally free of the death house. Does seem like we could use a moment to unwind.
Well, but we might want to save these. I just thought I'd say something because Avrea, I haven't known her very long. I've not seen this look on her face before. And Linnell is not feeling the safest. And when we do drugs and we're in those state of minds, it could just make it worse.
Don't imagine reaching an ideal state of mind be very tenable in Barovia, but I was going to suggest a calming blend of lemon and verbena. And she would look on the canisters to see if such a blend is available.
Right. And with your background, I would say you have advantage on, you could do medicine or nature to determine the contents.
Let me see. We can go with medicine. Ooh. Dirty 20.
You go through these different canisters, giving each one just a tentative sniff. And you would sort through, it seems like the equivalent to like just a Earl Grey. Sniff another one, perhaps peppermint, until you find one that does in fact have that lemony smell to it. As close as you could get to lemon and verbena.
Perfect. She'll look for some sort of method to brew it and begin to make tea. Here we are. This'll do the trick.
And she leans over, given ample cleave. It smells really good.
That doesn't go unnoticed. She just leans in like she's taking an inhale of the lemon tea as well, and I think another thought that she'd accidentally project with message would be, I'm gonna come up with something and then I'll message it to you.
All right.
While you guys are making tea, I do want to go real quick over to Linnell and Avrea and check in to see what the two of you are up to.
I'm just lost in thought in my corner.
I think Linnell is a little preoccupied and she's pacing, but eventually she does notice the shift in Avrea and will sort of crouch down next to where she's sat. I don't think we've properly talked, you and I.
What about?
What do you like to talk about?
That's a tough question. Not much at the moment.
I've noticed. Wanted to try and help. I like full disclosure, I am a terrible people person. Social encounters make me very awkward. This is the longest I've been in a group of people before, and I'm doing quite well, surprisingly. But are you okay?
Not really. I knew that Ismark was Irina's brother, but it just didn't click until I saw them together. And I just realized I can't hug my brother anymore like that. I miss him. And all of my little brothers as well. And my siblings.
I think if you allow it, Linnell will just slowly take your hand and hold your hand. If it's any consolation, I completely understand that. I have a sister. I haven't been able to hug her for I don't even know how long. And I miss that incredibly.
Do you not know where she is?
Oh, I know. She's out of reach.
Oh. Well, we're in the same situation then. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry, Everia. I don't know what purpose we are here for. Certainly me. I don't know why I'm still here, but one day at a time. I'm doing what I can for her. I'm sure you're doing what you can for your loved ones, too.
Yeah, I'm determined to go back.
There's always a way.
It's just... Yeah. It's just on top of that, Sarah missing as well. I'm worried.
So am I.
don't want to have
The whole
another...
The whole town is quiet, more so than usual. Maybe Sarah's not the only one missing right now. I know I'm paranoid, but one thing at a time. We've completed the job. Now I think next job we find Sarah. I don't like this.
They're targeting redheads. Do you think maybe they targeted her?
She might not have had her head down. I don't know.
I hope she's okay.
I mean, I've seen her punch the shit out of things. I'm sure she's fine. I'm probably giving whoever it is a hard time. Or, she might have just gone home. I don't know. But
That's true.
once we're done here with whatever else is left to do, I don't know what the rest of the group is doing, but I'm going to go find her.
I'm coming with you then.
I'm glad to have you with me.
I'm also glad. Thank you for trying to cheer me up.
That's the very least I can do. You've shown kindness to me. This is something that doesn't happen often. Usually people run the other way. So I am slowly becoming attached to you. Femme Fatales, or I don't know. It's kind of a good name. I like that.
Yeah, it fits.
Well, I don't drink, but they're making tea. We should at least...
You don't drink at all, ever?
I can, but I don't need to. It's more of a social thing.
Oh, right.
Like you go
Right,
out somewhere and like you feel peer pressure into like, doing something. Like you have friends that are taking mushroom drugs or something like that. Some stupid fucking thing like that. And then they're like, hey, try some. And you're like, oh, I don't know. Like, I could, but I don't need to. Like,
I mean, I've never had that experience.
oh, I miss it. I miss it dearly. You wouldn't
maybe I'll
feel,
try.
you wouldn't think that you would miss being hungry or thirsty or breathless. But I would not recommend it. It gets boring.
Can you taste things?
It's a good question. I feel like I do, but it's most flavors gone. So very bland, I would say.
Maybe we can make you something very strong to counteract that.
It'd have to be very strong. You should see me in a drinking competition. Maybe we make some money that way, actually. Keep that in mind. Anyway, let's go. We'll go join the others.
The other two have clearly been up to some nonsense in their absence. And so I'm just going to let the two of them speak for themselves what that nonsense has been.
Okay. Well, okay, I was looking for what I wrote down. So the other thought that Ileana would hear unintentionally is so sweet, so protective, and so utterly enticing.
She just starts deep throat laughing. Noted. And she's gonna grab the tea. She says noted out loud and walks on out.
Careful, you don't want to spill a drop.
And coming in to see these two.
I'll add that preparing the tea, she would have only made 2 cups with Ileana and Avreya in mind.
I don't think she was smart enough to have noticed why there's only 2. Like, she's just not picking it up. Like, she's gonna forget about basically what she's learned. Like, it's new knowledge, and it's not common to think like, oh, hey, you know, Linnell did not have a heartbeat. And, you know, Lena is, well, Lena. But Ismark had a heartbeat, and it's just, I don't think she quite comprehends that. And see, are you two still like touching and stuff?
I mean,
when we come in,
I'd say we've stood up to come and join you as you probably re-enter the room.
All right. Well, Lena made some tea better than I could have. So way better than I could have. Don't put me in charge of the herby things. I do the magic-y things.
You did a fantastic job overseeing the operation.
There was a lot to watch.
Anyway, lemon verbena, she'll set like a tray. I'm assuming there's a tea tray, so she'll set it down on the nearest table and bring Avreya a cup personally.
Oh, thank you.
Should calm the nerves, as it were.
And did you?
We've all been through a tremendous amount, more than I think we even imagined. I think we're all feeling a little tense.
You want to know?
I didn't mean to single you out.
No, thank you. This is very lovely.
You want to know if we laced it, don't you?
I take a sip.
Bottoms up.
Good soup.
It is still hot, steam coming off of the cup, but soothing. You taste the notes of lemon, and as you take a sip and it goes down your throat, you feel your body just release a little bit of that tension that you've gathered over the last few minutes. It's a contrast to how cold and gloomy it's been on your journey.
This was exactly what I needed. Thank you. So, Lanelle, do you want to try and see if you can taste this?
I'll try a little bit. If it's good, I don't want to waste it. So I'll take a small sip.
The flavor of the tea for you, Lanelle, is muted. Because lemon is such a strong flavor, you almost catch the essence of it on your tongue before it slips away. And to you, this tea tastes just like water. Nothingness.
Thank you. I'm sure it is lovely.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Why are you apologizing over the tea? Do I even want to know?
I feel like it's not my place.
Then don't worry about it.
It's nothing important. One of the side effects to me being me is I don't really have a sense of taste like I used to.
What about a sense of smell? And she'll walk over. What do I smell like to you?
I will inhale and assume muted scents fill
And-
my nostrils.
Lena, what about you?
I was
Here.
just about to ask, would I have any semblance of senses?
You would, actually. In fact, to you, the smell of the lemon verbena is strong.
And now the $64,000 question. What does Ileana smell like?
Well, Ileana kind of smells like a warm hug. Warm and a little spicy. You get keynotes of clove oil, chestnut accord, and vanilla, and a little bit of a fireplace.
Really helps to hide the smell of the must from none of you having a shower in the last few days.
Right.
Bold of you to assume it's days for Linnell.
Linnell has a thick layer of grime on her skin.
Oh, man.
Fine yet grime.
I'll add that, okay, so when Ileana asks, can I smell, she'll lean in and there may be, like, some of, like, nose, like, sniffing the hair, and another thought, not too far off from what I imagined, is the thought. It appears I have retained my senses.
Oh,
No.
Do you want the cup then?
Well, I also don't need to drink. It's why I conserved our resources and made some for those of us that
Lena,
can
take
drink.
Lena, take it
It
from
is pretty-
someone who cannot enjoy these things. While you still can, you should.
Yeah.
Because you
this
will
is
miss
not-
them when they're gone.
This is not for thirst. This is not to quench our thirst. This is just calming and very nice.
She'll walk over and she will hold the cup for a minute and she will try some.
Just as strong as it would taste to Avrea or Ileana. It tastes the same for you. The notes of lemon ringing quite strong.
You know what's interesting about Freya? Every time Freya looks different, she kind of smells different too. And I know that sounds crazy, but I also don't just smell through my nose. I kind of smell through taste as well.
Fascinating.
Sounds weird, I know. It's just the way I'm made.
I think in handing the cup of tea back to Avrea, she might also ask, may I get a grasp of your scent profile?
Sure. I don't really know what I smell like. Or taste like, I guess, at this point.
She
And
just...
Avrea is in winter right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For now.
Give her a cursory inhale.
Yeah. If you'd like, I can tell you what Avrea would smell like. See?
Yeah. I didn't think about it, or I would have prepared it.
Avrea smells soft. Almost like baby powder. And she doesn't have any kind of spicy notes to her. It's just a very calming and not overwhelming smell. It's just soft and there in the background, and if you focus on it, perhaps there's a little bit of that almost minty essence to it. Just as an ending note.
I would like to add, it also, there's also this kind of smell like s'mores at a campfire. This kind of cozy vibe when it's really cold, but you're cozying up in front of a fire.
Since Avrea said she doesn't know what she smells like, I think Lena would try to describe everything that's been said so far and finish with, it's rather lovely.
Thank you.
And she'll find a place to sit.
No one's going to try to smell Linnell. Probably for the best. Probably for the best.
Linnell, do you know what? Oh, well, would you like to hear your scent described, as it were?
I don't know. Sure, it's your funeral.
I'm curious for both of you.
She's gonna go over and cursory inhale.
Just to get a little sniff. Now, what does Linnell smell like?
You know what? I'm going to say that much like her own senses, it's a very faint, muted scent. And I like to imagine that this is a deliberate side effect of some of the things that have happened to her at the behest of a certain somebody. Perhaps it's not just her memories that are being stripped away piece by piece.
I would have hazarded a guess at night blooming jasmine, but very curious.
I find the only time I've been able to smell Linnell is when she's casting magic. That's
wish
still
I could-
inherently new.
I could still remember that kind of smell, but it's been a long time. Long time.
Y'all came here for vampires and we're spending like the entire episode building a sapphic romance. Just
Me. Hey, everyone, do you want to play like a horror campaign? Really deep and dark? No, don't worry.
Twist! It's secretly a dating simulator.
Oh, see, I just need to get all of you attached to your characters. We're still early on.
And for anyone out there playing Baldur's Gate, you thought it was over? We bring the dating simulator to life in our actual play game.
You'll see a on the exclamation marks on
The
my face.
exclamation, yes!
So, almost like right on cue to the end of this conversation, you would hear a single pair of footsteps, light, as they make their way down a nearby staircase. And Irina kind of surfaces from the upstairs. She kind of peeks in on all of you sitting. All right. Not all of you want tea? I can go make some tea. I have more cups.
Quite alright. We availed ourselves of your collection and found a most suitable lemon verbena blend.
Okay, well, I have more cups if you guys need more cups. And if tea's not your thing, I'm sure I can find something else. I think there's some leftover goat's milk.
Your
Oh, that's maybe a little
hospitality,
spoiled.
your hospitality is appreciated. I don't wish to speak for the group as a whole, but the only thing I really feel like I want to find right now is our companion,
Yes,
who
We
has
should
not
begin the
been
search.
seen. Quick question, Irina. I know the streets of this town are usually quiet, but does this seem a little bit more quiet?
Well, yeah, but I mean, as I mentioned, there's a little bit of that curfew stuff, and maybe I just assumed that everyone was starting to pay attention to it. Maybe taking me a little bit more seriously.
Hereford, what time is it?
Oh, well, I mean, the clock over there has been broken for quite some time, so I couldn't tell you, but it must be early afternoon?
What time is the curfew?
Well, usually we just go based on how dark it's getting. It might, it looks like it's raining out there. Maybe that has something to do with it. The rain clouds are a little darker, and people have deemed it maybe more appropriate to stay indoors.
thought
very
people don't
cold.
like listening to you, though.
Can I make an insight check?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. 22.
22. There seems to be a underlying feeling of anxiety in her words, but you wouldn't get the sense that she's lying or even necessarily omitting anything. Perhaps more trying to rationalize out loud to herself.
Well, your hospitality is welcome, appreciated. I don't normally do this, so thank you. Ladies, I would like to go find our friends, so that's what I'm going to do. I don't know what your
Let-
business
I'll
is,
go
but
with you.
We're all in the same boat, except for Sarah, apparently, who up and walked away.
well, let's
So,
go. Let's go fetch our stray.
I'm hoping that's the best case scenario.
Me too.
Well, I mean, as being the mayor, do you know about where people live? Like, Sarah doesn't live in town. Sarah lives on the outskirts. Do you?
Well, I don't really go out anywhere myself.
Oh,
Outside of the thing, there are people who don't live within the village limits, but
yeah, I know. Just in some other places, there's a registry with like addresses. So I thought it wouldn't hurt to ask.
oh well, I wouldn't have anything for anything outside of the village.
All right.
I really hope this is not the case, but just preparing for the worst case scenario. You mentioned kidnapped redheads. What else do you know? Do we have any clues that we could follow if that's the case?
Oh, well, I suppose the only thing that I would have for you is, well, remember that I mentioned that there was a woman in town. She perhaps distastefully has earned herself the nickname recently, Mad Mary.
That's right.
Her daughter, Gertruda, had gone missing a few weeks back, and it might be worth going to her house and inquiring with her.
That's a starting
All right.
point. What does she look like?
Oh, well, she's quite young, actually, for motherhood, but small in stature, perhaps, I mean, even shorter than myself, coming up to about my shoulders, long graying brown hair. I would say that she's stopped by the manor quite a bit recently, and she's looked more and more haggard with each visit. Perhaps it's the stress getting to be too much for the poor thing. I mean, her only daughter missing. But perhaps I do know where she lives if you would like directions.
Please.
Excuse me for one moment. I'm going to draw you a crude map. I'm not the best artist, but perhaps it will be helpful. And she is going to take out a key and move to the side room unlocking the lock. And then without opening the door too wide, she's going to slip in and shut the door behind her.
Didn't she say that her dad was dead? I thought she narrated the title because... maybe I'm wrong.
You're correct.
Hmm.
Isn't it like a little weird to lock a dead body in a room?
Unless they're holding some sort of ceremony, wake.
I'm going to cast Detect Magic.
Why lock it?
You don't sense anything other
Strange.
than perhaps the magic of your fellow companions.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to keep that open for 10 minutes, just in case.
All right.
I have this feeling. I don't quite understand what it is yet, but something's not right. Since we came back to town. Well, since we woke up without Sarah.
So the door, it's in this room, like the door that she just disappeared behind?
She went into the hallway and entered into that room.
She might try and lean against the wall, like near the entrance of the hallway, and attempt to perceive any noises.
Roll me perception.
Okay. Ooh. Let's see. Dirty 20.
You only hear what sounds to be the rustling of paper and perhaps the scritching of quill.
Well, I like to snoop, but also like these. Look at this house. These two have been through enough, but considering that we're dealing with puncture holes and you guys are not fully like living, could the dad be in the same state? Maybe.
That's what I'm wondering.
Mm.
And could that hurt them?
Or maybe they're hiding it. They know it.
Should we, at the very least, though, say bye to Ismark before we leave?
See what we can discover along the way.
Well, but make sure to knock on the door so we're not just walking in on him in a bath.
True.
So
Alright.
Are you two going?
I will.
Before you go, I would like to touch both of them just on the shoulder and twin spell protection from good and evil.
Ooh.
Just in case.
We'll
Thank
be
you.
right back. It's okay, Ray. We're not going anywhere. You found yourself on my ship. You're stuck with me till we get you home.
I hope so.
We'll be back.
What's the worst that could happen?
Oh, yeah.
As you guys make your way up the staircase, each step squeaks ever so slightly as if straining underneath any type of weight. The wood is old and rotted in places, causing you to have need to step over one step, avoid one area. You could feel the wood is soft underneath your shoes. And you reach the upper landing. The landing has 2 hallways, one to the left and one to the right. Every door is closed.
Back in the hallway with doors.
Your favorite.
Very loudly gonna shout, "Hey, Ismark."
You would hear a startled splash from the right.
All right. And as we hear that and walk our way, I'll be like, "Calm down. You're all right. Hold on to your britches." And we'll make our way towards the door.
You hear muffled from the other side. I hope you don't intend on barging in here.
Not at all. Just wanted to let you know that your sister's drawing us a map, and we're gonna go try to find our friend.
All right. Well, that's good. I hope that your very intimidating friend gets found. Is there anything I can do to help you?
Not taking the low-hanging fruit. We're not doing it. Stay with your sister, and if you need us, just find a way. Your dad's not also going to be some undead thing, is he?
Goodness, I hope not. I can't very well say yes or no, but last I knew, he's dead. Now that I've seen that the two in your party have apparently just decided death was not for them,
Choosing to ignore that, she's going to add, and if we wish to pay our respects, where might we find him?
You hear silence for a few moments. My father?
Yes.
Well, I would assume that Irina hasn't moved his coffin from the house yet.
And, okay, yes, and which room would that be?
Downstairs? Please do not disturb my father's body.
Dear boy,
you hear him,
we
like,
wish to
splash
pay
out
our
of the tub as if,
respects.
You hear him, like, splash out of the tub, and he's like, none of you go anywhere. Just please stay put, and I'll be out shortly.
Surely people say prayers for the dead around here. We barely wish to
He has not opened the door. The door is firmly shut closed.
She's just still shouting through the door.
Please do not come out of the door. I really do not want to see you naked.
I have no plans of letting you see me naked.
All right, can you re-splash back in the water, please?
Just don't touch my father's body. Just leave it be. I know we're planning on taking him to the church as soon as we can. Just.
Yes, all right. Back to your bath, then.
You hear another loud splash and just frustrated, just like a.
Good boy.
What? Oh, good God. What's the name of the church in case we try to find y'all later and you're gone, so we can just assume you're not dead?
There's no name to the church. It's just the church.
The church.
There's only one?
Well, yes. Just why would there be?
Good enough. We'll be on our way. Ta-ta.
Keep close to your sister. Be safe.
You hear a quiet thanks.
You almost made him come on out stark naked. He was getting so flustered in there. What if he
I
slipped
never
and
said to
drowned
come
Lena?
out.
What if he fell and cracked his head open?
To be fair, I never said, come join us. We wish to see your man body. I said nothing of the sort.
Your man body.
Oh my god.
Hey, that's tame compared to some of the things I've said in this campaign already.
that's incredibly tame.
You're gonna need a bigger whiteboard.
You could do more.
I could do more, yeah.
You could do more.
Bet.
Challenge accepted. All right.
Well, we're not going shopping. We're gonna find Proud Mad Mary.
Shall we investigate this theory of ours while we have the time, making sure this is out of earshot of Ismark?
The dad?
Yes.
Well, see, there's an issue with us just forcing ourselves on every living thing. And
You both during this conversation would hear the door downstairs shut as Irina has exited that room and is now making her way back to the room that Avreya and Linnell are in.
She might pitch this a little bit louder, but, well, if we merely wish to pay our respects to the dead, of course. What reason could we have for... You know what? Forget that last sentence. Just if we wish to pay our respects to the dead, why shouldn't we? That's it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can offer to pray over the Blessed Lady of Sorrow, but they don't know who that is. You don't know who that is. No, but I don't know why I'm here. All right.
Well,
I'll offer useless shit.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The woman in the street seemed receptive to your goddess.
Oh, she was nice. She doesn't know who the hell she is.
They don't have to know who your goddess is. They just... I'm sure kindness is a rarity in these parts. Anyone offering to pray for the passing of a loved one would probably be met with suspicion, if I'm honest. But if we phrase it just so, the two of us take this on together, we can investigate this little theory of ours.
But Lena, then we're preying on Irina, and we're just another one of those leeches.
But all we're going to be doing is looking and investigating. That doesn't mean we have to touch a corpse, especially not another man body.
There's a lock on the door for a reason.
Well, all right. If we want to be off, then we'll be off.
Where did the other two go?
We were just saying our farewells to Ismark.
Oh, okay. Are you all already heading out?
Yeah, the plan was to wait for your map of the area and then be on our way.
Well, hopefully it's legible and she'll offer it out to you. And you would see that it's perhaps about halfway between here and she even marks where the tavern is on the map. It's a fairly detailed map.
Are you going to be holding a wake for your father?
Oh, yes. Well, I was waiting for Ismark to hopefully come back, and we were going to try to drag the coffin over to the church.
Try to drag, dear heart.
Well, I mean, there's not really a better way to get it there.
You're making friends if you need help. Do you think you can wait until we check on Sarah and we can help move your dad?
I don't know if I have any more to offer for payment.
We
Otherwise,
don't. Friendship doesn't take payment. Friendship takes kindness.
You all would help us for free?
Look at your house, little bird.
It's seen better days.
You've been attacked enough.
She's right.
Well, that's very kind of you all. Oh. Ismark and I have no plans on really going anywhere at the moment. So, if you really mean it and you're willing to help, whenever you can, hopefully sooner rather than later, but yes, I'd like to accept your offer of help. Friendship.
It'd be our pleasure. Let us go get Sarah, though, because it's better to have all of us. She seemed to take a shining to y'all, too. Not so much to your brother, but...
Did he do something to offend you all?
Oh, no, just the tit for tat and him just, being a man. But he's not a disgusting one, which is really says a lot about how the two of you were raised.
Well, Mother was better at that than Father, but thank you.
Yeah. We can have drinks and you can shit on your dad all you want or reminisce. Whatever way versus how he treated you when we return.
Y'all be safe out there, okay?
All right.
And she will kind of look up towards the stairs and over at the locked door. Before you all leave, she's thinking and she stops you. When you come back, can you be sure to knock 4 times?
We'll remember that.
I know it's a silly request, but you can't be too careful these days.
Must do everything you can to keep yourself safe.
And she will move towards the door, unlock that little barricade, and hold it open for you all.
Be well, Irina.
And you as well. And out into the dreary rain you all go. I think this is a perfectly acceptable place for us to stop tonight. How y'all feeling?
Great.
Gotten to know a little bit more about one another. And a little... you haven't really got much of a taste of the village quite yet. But I suppose we'll see for next time.
We were waiting for Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. Well, let's go ahead, and I would like to do our normal thing of going around to see, just to like have you guys reintroduce yourselves, your characters, and give your favorite moment of today's session. And we're going to go backwards from how we started. So, Bridget, the floor is yours.
Friends, I am Bridget. I've been Lena, the suspenders wearing, thoughts having member of the party tonight. When I'm not here Friday nights getting scared and horny, I am here Monday nights as Frike, the Way the Long Death Shattered Guy monk, Bagagoth mommy, all that good stuff. And when I'm not online. I'm offline. Fickin', recapping, lore-keeping, all that good stuff. Favorite moment? Just the realization of, like, Ileana not knowing about vampires and, like, that certain look on Sky's face when she realized, like, oh, monster properties? Like, oh, okay. Taking extensive mental notes.
Oh, yes. All right. C.
Hi, I'm C, and you can find me online as Hey C on YouTube and on Twitch. And I've played Abrea, the cinnamon roll. So my favorite moment was when we were sniffing each other around like dogs.
You know, every session, you guys do something I don't expect you to do, and you know what? I'm here for it. So
We train the dogs, then we are the dogs.
From spit to sniff.
you become the dogs. Speaking of which, Sky.
I really love. Well, hi, I'm Sky. I play Leona. Talks too much, but I love that we're doing like a sapphic build, getting to know each other. The way it's going to entangle us and hurt us later. My favorite part of the evening, I think, is watching the cinnamon roll start to crumble. But I live for character building and emotional undertones. So it's not because I'm a dick. It's because it's beautiful.
I just like to watch you all suffer.
Yeah,
That's my
it's
job.
great.
That's my job.
I love your pain. It's so nice.
Thank you. I made it myself.
Delicious.
And when I'm not here, you can find me on Sky Sparkle on YouTube, where I cover Critical Role and Dimension 20.
All right. Patch.
I am Patch, the ever humble, usual dungeon master from Mondays and Wednesdays, right here on Quest Junkies. You can also find me over on Phoenix Uaki every other Friday, playing the sassy yet classy wizard, rather than the dummy yet mommy wizard that you've seen tonight. Favorite moment? I'm stuck between two, so I'm gonna say both. The little heart-to-heart between Linnell and Avrea was wonderful. I also really liked the long rest segment of Ileana checking for the heartbeat. Like, that was a cute little moment.
Yeah. All right. And I am Bree, your humble dungeon mistress for this evening. You can find me really under the handle Bree the Tired on most social media. I don't really post much, so usually you just find me here. Just here. This is where I live, okay? This is where I live. But my favorite moment is, I'm actually going to be more broad. I liked that there was a lot of exploration and learning about each other in the session, where you guys are slowly starting to open up and show a little bit more trust in one another. And, you know, it's good to have sessions like these where there's not just a lot of chaos and a ton going on. It's just a little break to kind of help further the role play further on. But enough about that. I want to thank both everyone in chat, everyone watching, and of course my players for being oh so wonderful and spending their evenings with us on Fridays here at Quest Junkies. So, as always, leaving you off with my little sign off. May the mists of Barovia never obscure your path. Until next time, is it Friday yet? Bye, y'all.
Bye!
Bye.